Tonight on Legend Quest, I trek across the deserts of the Middle East in pursuit of the legendary Staff of Moses.
I've hit the jackpot, guys.
And scour the hills and coast of Scotland.
There's no symbols on the sides here. This is a replica.
To hunt down the nation-conquering Stone of Destiny.
Look, Kinga, there's a door here.
My name is Ashley Cowie. I'm an author and archaeological explorer, specializing in ancient symbols and mysterious legends. I've spent years studying some of the world's most fascinating relics. Now I'm on the hunt to find out where they are. Some would hope that these secrets remain hidden, but I'll leave no stone unturned to uncover the truth in my legend quest.
When I was a kid, one of my favorite movies was The Ten Commandments, especially the part where Charlton Heston raises his staff, parts the Red Sea, and leads the freed Israelites through those huge walls of water. Every story of mystical staffs and magic wands has evolved from Moses' staff, Merlin, Gandalf, and even Harry Potter can thank the original mystical stick. But unlike those other magical rods, many believe Moses' staff was real.
According to oral tradition, the staff was grown from the Tree of Life and was mysteriously engraved with mystical symbols said to prophesize the 10 plagues.
The staff was passed down through generations of prophets until it ultimately ended up in the hands of Moses, who eventually fulfilled the engraved prophecy by using the staff to cast plagues on the Egyptians,
including summoning pelting hail and swarming locusts. But during the Exodus, Moses used the staff to save the Israelites by parting the Red Sea. And most important to their survival in the desert, creating an oasis named Kadesh Barnea by springing water from a rock. The oasis at Kadesh Barnea is the last recorded location of the staff.
For generations, people have searched for the staff in vain. Of all the staff's powers, arguably the greatest was its mastery over water. So I believe following that water connection is the key to discovering the staff's location, starting with the oasis at Kadesh Barnea. But no one has ever positively located this elusive site. That's why I'm headed to Jordan, where I believe an ancient church may hold the secret to finding the legendary staff. But to unlock that secret, we're going to have to crack a centuries-old code. Now, right here in the center of Madaba is the earliest known map of the Holy Land, a mosaic tiled map on the floor of a church. No one's really looked at it in relation to the Staff of Moses. We're going to go to that church and we're going to check it out and see if we can locate the last known place of the staff, which was an area called Kadesh Barnea.
That sounds like a plan, Ashley.
To unravel the map's mysteries, we have to get closer to it than normally allowed. I have special permission to enter the church after hours.
The Madaba map.
This isn't like any map I've ever seen. It's a mosaic comprised of over 2 million individual tiles, written in Greek, with several areas where the tiles appear deliberately removed, making it difficult to see the whole picture. I'm going to need a crash course, so I called on my colleague, Dr. Konstantinos Politis, to meet us here.
I believe this is the oldest map in existence of the Holy Land.
It is dated to the early Christian period, and it certainly includes the Holy Land, focusing around Jerusalem, the Dead Sea, the Jordan River, and all the way south to the Nile River Delta. It really is unique because it has labels of about 150 sites. Some are from the Old and New Testament, but they're also geographic terms.
It's really interesting that this is the view that Moses would have had of the Holy Land. And of course, I'm trying to locate Kadesh Barnea. Is that indicated on this map anywhere?
It's missing.
Kadesh Barnea not being labelled on the map presents a problem.
I need to figure out another way to locate the elusive site.
This is where the Exodus passed up right through here.
I would say yes.
As I look closer, I notice some strange symbols.
What are these marks here?
Those are the mountains of the Negev desert.
They may be the clue needed to lead us to the staff.
Since Moses used the staff to form an oasis, we need to find a valley along the Exodus Trail capable of holding a large amount of water. Moses striking the rock at the summit would make the base of these mountains the perfect place to form an oasis like Kadesh Barnea.
But the mountains are in the wrong location, or at least they appear that way on this broken tiled map. But with that one clue, I know how to put this puzzle back together again.
Thank you, Doctor.
Good luck.
Kinga, listen to me here. I believe if Kadesh Barnea is anywhere, it's going to be in this region,
At the base of these mountains here.
And what I'm going to do is use modern technology to solve an old problem. So, what I'm figuring is we overlay a modern map on top of the Madaba map.
First thing we need to do is orient the map correctly. Because this map, like all ancient cartography, was laid out east to west, following the path of the sun. Now we need to overlay the approximate Exodus route onto our modern map. Finally, since the original mapmaker lacked precision tools, we need to adjust it accurately by triangulating 3 known locations.
First of all, plot Jerusalem.
Okay.
Next, here's Beersheba to the south. And finally, Gaza to the west.
Have technology do the work for us.
Watch this. If we triangulate our 3 points accurately, Gaza would move to here. Jerusalem to the north, and Beersheba over here. Using this correct alignment, the mountains would end up here, in a totally new place, right along the Exodus route. I've got it.
Avdat. Kadesh Barnea could be at modern-day Avdat, right beside the mountain, right here in the Exodus route. Modern-day Avdat. Guys, pack up. We're going to make a trip to Israel, a search of the staff.
We head out deep into the Israeli desert towards Avdat.
What we need to try and do is establish 2 things. One, if this is the site of Kadesh Barnea, is the staff there? And if so, where could it be? Find Kadesh Barnea itself would be quite amazing. To find the staff, you know, it's a payoff beyond belief.
To help us out, we have Leo Ramon. He's going to meet us there. He actually works for the national parks. So he's going to be able to give us some great history on the area and take us around and show us what we need to see.
All right, guys. We've worked out on a map that this might be the site of Kadesh Barnea, where Moses, you know, took the Israelites on the Exodus and used his staff to strike water.
It could be. It's the biggest spring in the Negev.
Yeah.
At the moment, there is rains upstream, so there's a risk of flash floods.
Really?
And flash floods, when it comes, it's 2 meters, brown wave, wash everything on its path.
Can we maybe try to get down there before this cloud comes over?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, wow.
We're maybe looking at the historical site of Kadesh Barnea, one of the most elusive landscapes in the Bible. What we'd like to do is get right down and explore what the spring actually is. Thunder. Okay, so we need to get down there before these clouds come over. The last thing we want is to get caught up in a flash flood.
The storm's coming in. It's not safe to go any further.
Look at it, this is desolate. There's just absolutely no way the most important artifact in the Israelites' religion is going to be left lying around here to get washed in a canyon like that. You know, everything in this canyon here is going to be washed down with these floods.
But up in the higher ground and up towards the real source of the spring, we need to look for archaeology or some signs of, the Israelites being there.
Upstream, there is a very, very impressive ruins. Yeah, it's not far. It's up on the hill.
It's so important we go and see that, because if this is Kadesh Barnea, no one has looked at those ruins considering this.
I have a friend there. He's an expert on the ruins. He can talk to you.
If the staff was said to have the power to create water, then what we need to find is an ancient cistern or structure capable of storing water in hopes that it provides a lead.
Hey, King, I found something really interesting.
It's an aqueduct in the middle of the desert. It's exactly the kind of lead we need to follow. And here's where it all ends up. A much older-looking cistern. This could be the clue that connects Avdad to the staff. Our quest for the legendary Staff of Moses has led us to an ancient ruin in Israel near an oasis. I found a series of aqueducts that end at a water storage building that may be connected to the Israelites. We've met up with an archaeologist, Jacob Shavit.
Everything we've found along the trail of Moses' staff points towards water. And again, even from this channel down to this water cistern, leads us to water.
You can feel it's different from all around. You see, it's another type of building, and it's an Nabatean.
An Nabatean?
Many believe the Nabateans were descendants of the Israelites. An ancient text tell of them possessing what they referred to as the secret of secrets, which some believe was related to their concealed methods of finding water.
Only the Nabatean have the knowledge to find water and to store water in the desert.
Let's assume for a moment the staff of Moses was the knowledge of how to find water. If that was taken here by Moses, are you indicating to us that that sacred object could have passed through from the Israelites to the Nabateans?
One of the tribes till today around this area, around Petra, is claimed to be one of the Israeli tribes. This is the answer for their richness, for their success in the desert.
It's sort of weird to think about how one small tribe managed to find and control nearly all the water in the desert, making them incredibly rich. The fact that they also claim to possess the secret of secrets raises an eyebrow.
I mean, it's absolutely clear when you hear it like that. Water's the secret and the knowledge of how to find it. Now, if that staff exists as a physical object, this could only be in one place, where the Nabateans ended up. Petra.
And that's where we're headed next.
We're here in Jordan on the trail of the Nabateans. We're heading to the capital city in Petra. It's a huge ancient temple carved out in the sandstone rock. All right, guys, so what we're looking out for are symbols. Look for urns or goblets or cups or anything that could have held water, or anything relating to the story of the Nabateans or Moses. So eyes peeled, guys. Let's move on.
We enter a narrow shaft, barely 3 meters wide in places, with walls reaching 600 feet in height.
Right here we have our first well. Look. Yep, here we go. Filtered through here into these holding jars so people can come along and get their fresh water. Remember, water being the biggest and most valuable commodity in the ancient world. And look, every couple of 100 yards you see these carved shrines in the water, in the rock there.
Is that what they are? Are they shrines?
Yeah, they must be offerings to, maybe to the pagans, to the water gods.
They could also have held urns or a vessel for drawing water from the wells. This whole shaft seems to be dedicated to worshipping water and is leading us down a clue-filled trail.
Do you know, this is like standing at the base of the oasis we saw at Avdad, but we're at the bottom this time. So imagine this filled up. It's almost exactly the same geology.
In fact, the locals call this gorge the River of Moses.
Some even believe this staff itself was used to create this mile-long passage that once flowed with water.